Hey, Arcturus here. Today we're looking at the Legio Custodes battle group for Warhammer Horus Heresy. These are some new plastic Custodes models. Take a quick look here at the back and then we'll look at the actual sprue. You get some new Custodian Guard for Horus Heresy, which can easily be substituted in for the 40K Custodian Guard or Wardens. You also get a new plastic Caladius Annihilator grav-tank, as well as the Contemptor-Achillus Dreadnought, which can also be built as the Contemptor-Galatus Dreadnought. So let's crack this open and take a look at the sprue. Opening of the box, we got some bases. There are only 15 miniatures in this box. I'll just toss those to the side for now. Then we have our new Custodian Guard sprue. Looks like the head tassels for the helmets are all have to be assembled, and those are supposed to be interchangeable. Back of a few of the helmets here, the robes, and then we have the other side as well. So very angular, more conical heads. They're pretty conical in the current 40K kit, which was also for Horus Heresy as well. And you get two of those sprues. So my initial assumption was that the bodies were the same, and that appears to be the case since you get two of these, and there's 6 per sprue. They do have the mini sprue and then the larger sprue. So the weapon should be separate as well. A little bit of damage to the manual for the instructions does not bother me as long as it's not damage to the miniatures. This is the Custodian Guard Sodality sprue, which is the spears in Horus Heresy. They've changed in Horus Heresy, the Custodian Sentinels Sodality is the sword and shield version. I would imagine if they go into 40K, that will be one box, is my guess. I have no idea if that's correct. I'm guessing they'll be sold separately because you do also get the shield sprue. I imagine at some point in the future that will be condensed to one box. I don't know if that is correct. I mean, that's just a guess on my part. But this is the other side of that. You get the nice vexilla. You get plenty of shoulder pads, several additional heads. Originally, they said that there were 12 helmeted and 12 unhelmeted heads. And I'm guessing that this extra sprue is where a lot of those extra heads are, because in the announcement for the launch box, that's what they said, but then in the announcement for the individual kits, they had different number of heads, which was a little strange. But that's the Custodian Guard Sodality sprue. And I will probably mix those up and may have already mixed those up because currently in 40K, the Custodian Guard are the ones with sword and shields or spears, and Wardens have spears or axes. Although my understanding is nobody takes the axes. I don't know why that is. I don't actually have any of the Wardens. I always just ran them as Custodian Guard because I always wanted them with sword and shield. I just thought, oh, cooler. The 6 shields here are supposed to be unique. It looks like 5 of the 6. No, they are unique, although some of them are very, very similar. Yeah, so you get some extra tassels on this one compared to this one, and then this one has the wreath. But otherwise, it's very, very similar base. This one has swords. I mean, they look great, I think. So, and then we have the other side as well. It's the other side. Of course, they got their own vexilla on this one, which is different than the other vexilla. And so you get one of each of those sprues, which makes perfect sense. Then we have the Shield Captain. This is a actual Shield Captain model. Currently, well, I guess until this kit came out, when you wanted a Shield Captain for the Custodes, you took one of your regular guys and either spruced him up some or painted him up differently, made him some way distinguishable, and you just took him from the regular kit. This one is an actual Custodian shield captain, though. Very nice tactical rock with some Imperial symbols on it. It's always disappointing. It's cooler when they have enemy symbols or can have some variation, although they haven't done that in a while. We do get a nice helmeted head there. And I think they said there was an unhelmeted version as well. Take a very close look at this. All right. So the unhelmeted head is not something I was going to be putting on. I'm definitely not doing it now because it's in 3 pieces. At least you have the head. This is the back of it. I'll flip it over in a second. Then you have one hair piece and the other hair piece. And if you come in here and we look real close, you have the face without the hair pieces. And so that is certainly a choice. Those are way too small. I am not putting those on there. I wasn't going to anyway. I prefer the helmeted look for pretty much all of the 40K stuff, with some exceptions. So I wasn't going to be doing that either way, but that is certainly a choice for the head. Not sure why they felt the need to do that. They've certainly done heads with hair pieces as single pieces before, and it's been just fine. I mean, I've got some Hellsmiths of Hashut that have huge beards that are single piece heads, and they look great. So I don't know why they felt the need to do that as 3 pieces. That is a little absurd, in my opinion. All right, next we have part of the Caladius sprue. This is the Annihilator. And this is going to be the turret sprue. And I am guessing that this entire sprue will be replaced if you buy the standard Caladius grav-tank, which has a different gun and different turret configuration. This being the Annihilator, you get this sort of turret with the plates. It's kind of a more narrow turret. The Caladius grav-tank has a larger turret, if I remember the images correctly. I suspect you will get this sprue in the standard Caladius grav-tank as opposed to this version, which is the Annihilator, because the base for that should be the same. The only difference should be the turret. So there should be no difference in this sprue for either of the tanks. This is very similar to how they do the Repulsor Executioner, where you have a different turret compared to the standard Repulsor. So this is that turret again, slightly different than the standard Caladius grav-tank. That I'll have to go back in a moment. You also get a hover stand, which I think is relatively new. It does have this ball joint on it with pin, so it won't flop to the side, which is nice. It should stay on pretty solidly, I would guess. Won't know till I put it together, but looks like it'd be pretty solid. I have not seen a flight stand that looks quite like this, I don't think. I've seen some flight stands that had the ball joint on them for something. I think it was an Age of Sigmar model, but that is pretty different than what I was expecting for a flight stand. You also get a base for it as well, and a Dreadnought base also in this box. All right, so here we have the last of the Caladius sprue with its additional large plates, and mostly the plates here, or some on the other sprue as well. And up next we have the Contemptor Dread sprue, Achillus or Galatus. You can build both. This has a lot of the pieces on it. It's going to be relatively smaller than I was expecting. I guess from the pictures there was, larger. This looks like it will be relatively smaller. And then you have the rest of the Dreadnought pieces. When I build the individual sets, I will do a comparison for the Guard compared to the current Guard kit, or the old Guard kit, I guess. But I don't have any of the Forge World stuff, so I can't do a comparison on those. I can only do a comparison to the stuff that was in plastic, because that's all I own. You also get some transfer sheets with some text, as well as secondary transfer sheet. And I did have some pieces come off already. That may have been from me handling it. Doesn't look like very many have come off. May have been pulled off by this. And we have the instructions. This one at least gives you images of all the sprue. So we have the shield captain with its one sprue, that's good, and it gives you the base sizes as well. That is interesting that they have them listed as Custodian Sentinel Guard sprue there. We have the Caladius grav-tank, and then the Achillus Dreadnought as well. You can build either. And then we just have instructions, some tank instructions there. And then the Dreadnought kit. Dreadnought seems to be made up of a ton of very tiny pieces. So they seem to like that in Horus Heresy, at least from what I've heard of people building the Saturnine Dreadnoughts. Although I have not built one of those myself, so I could not say. Well, anyway, that's all I've got for this week. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.